Hello and welcome to the HideOut Youth Zone podcast, What Manchester Taught Me. I am Corinne, the Deputy Head of Youth Work here at HideOut Youth Zone, and these are my fellow Mancunians and HideOut members, Yami and Rush. At HideOut, we couldn't do what we do without our amazing founder patrons and supporters, so we decided we'd like to get to know them a little bit better. That's why we've created this podcast series so we can hear from them, get to know them a little bit more, and talk about something that we all have in common, Manchester. So,
yeah, man.
Oi, yeah, man. All right.
Yeah, man.
0161, yeah. So, as well as finding out about all the amazing stuff about our guests, we'll get to find out why Manchester is special to them and why they're so passionate about investing in Manchester's future. So, before we meet today's guests, let's get up to date with our listeners with HideOut, and just in case they didn't know about us.
So, HideOut is a charity and youth zone in Garton that gives young people like us somewhere safe to go, something positive to do and someone trusted to talk to. It's only been open for 2 years, but already HideOut has supported over 6,000 young people.
HideOut is sick. It's open 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. It offers up to 20 different activities every night, from music studios to boxing, cooking, rock climbing, career support, you name it, HideOut's got it.
HideOut also provides lots of different opportunities and experiences like dedicated projects and trips. HideOut does lots to support Manchester's young people to lead healthier, happier, safer and more aspirational lives.
So if you didn't know, this week is National Apprenticeship Week, which is dedicated to celebrating apprentices and all the amazing work that they do. The theme of Apprenticeship Week this year, is Skills for Life. So we thought there'd be nothing better than to have a guest here with us today who's been through it, got those life skills and put them into action. So today our very special guest is none other than Mark Goldberg. So Mark is the commercial CEO of Together, one of HideOut's founder patrons, but today we want to hear Mark's story. So first of all, thank you very much for coming in.
My pleasure.
Your journey to commercial CEO has been wild, crazy. Definitely did a bit of research on you. And you actually started as an apprentice, didn't you? And you've worked up your way.
I'm still an apprentice today.
Still some days, is it like that?
Yeah, definitely feel that way.
And you've managed to work your way all the way up to CEO, so how does it feel?
Do you know something? It feels that I've actually achieved what I set out to achieve, which is through hard work, perseverance, watching lots of colleagues come through. And if I can do it, anybody can do it, genuinely.
Love that. Get that on a t-shirt, that's a good slogan.
I might do that.
20%, yeah. So can you just tell us a little bit about you, a little about Together and how you ended up where you are today?
I can. So I'm 51 years old. I've been working at the same business for 34 years. I'm married. I've got 4 beautiful kids who make my life unbelievable and light me up every day, and I do it for them. I've got 5 dogs, and I started at a business where there was 12 people working from a mill. Used to have to get up early in the morning, work late at night, and I just basically gave it everything I've got. And, took every opportunity I could. And I look at all our graduates and apprentices in our business, and I hope they look at me and say, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it. So they've got every opportunity. I'm just warming the chair for the next apprentice to come through and take over my position.
So before we get into the deep stuff, we're just going to have a quick fire round as a little icebreaker, so we can get to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
Show us the real Mark.
So basically, we're going to ask you 6 questions and we want you to answer them as honestly as possible.
With pleasure.
All right. First question, choose wisely.
Yes.
What team do you support, Manchester United or City?
United.
Come on.
Thank God for that.
Also, what is your favourite place in Manchester and why?
I think my favourite place is Old Trafford, and I was thinking about this the other day, and the reason why I say that is because I can switch off. My wife can't get hold of me, my kids can't. My customers can't get hold of me, my colleagues can't get hold of me. But when I've come here tonight, seriously, in the youth zone, I've got such an uplifting feeling of watching everybody, the volunteers, the people that work there, people like you, children, who need some extra help. It's just a phenomenal place, and I'd like to come here more often. I'm going to do some rapping with you.
Yeah.
You're going to teach me how to rap.
Rapping and youth quick.
Yeah, good.
Happy future at Mark.
G-Berg, G-Berg.
G-Berg, yeah. G-Money.
like, now that you're loaded, who tends to ask you for the most money and what is it for?
Besides our customers, which is what we do for a living, I've got a wife and 4 kids that constantly cost me money all the time. Whatever. My daughters never ring me unless they want something. So, and my son is 19 years old, and he just lights me up every time. You know, he is what I always aspired to be, but he's got it far earlier than me. So, you know, it's a pleasure to do it. I've worked hard, and why wouldn't I want to give to them? But also, I think, you know, I'm trying to give something back charity-wise, and I pick the right charities. I've got a great team at Together where we look at what we want to do and how we can help and support. And it's not just about money, it's about time. So, you know, my wife and my daughters on Friday are going to basically to the soup kitchen to basically serve food. And I keep saying the more we can do, that's just what giving something back makes you feel better. So it's not always about money.
Right, so as a big successful businessman, what time do you get up in the morning and what's your routine to start
I
your
am
day?
glad you've asked me this. I get up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I sit in bed for 10 minutes and think about my day ahead. And then I go for a run. I do 5K Monday to Friday and 10K on a Saturday and Sunday. And if I don't do it, I do not feel in the right headspace to get on with my day. And I tell you what, anybody that's listening to this, try it, I promise you, puts you right in the right zone. I think about my day, I think about my meetings, I think about my meetings from the previous day, what could I have done better, how could I have improved, did I get the right outcome? And I tell you what, I get back and I am ready for
You're ready for the day then, innit? Yeah, you're amped up.
Brilliant, honestly.
So what time did you finish your run?
I finished my run it takes me 30 minutes to do 5K and about 55 minutes to do 10K at the weekend. Weekend, I give myself a little break. I probably get up about 7 o'clock at the weekend. And then first thing I do is get up, go for a run.
So what time do you go sleep?
Half 11, 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Five
Not
hours.
active.
It's all I need. 5 hours.
Guys, waking
Can you
up
believe
at the
it?
time I'm going
Yeah.
to sleep.
What has been your greatest achievement so far?
My greatest achievement so far, honestly, is having the loving family that I've got. You know, we are a unit. My kids love to be around me and my wife. We talk openly. Their friends come round. So I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud that I can give something back to my parents. I'm very close with my parents. But the success of Together and what we do as a business, you know, recently we've just been raising some, you know, we've decided that we are going to donate a serious amount of money to charity. I saw that I was involved in kind of the plan, but then the plan was presented to me, and honestly, it made the hairs on my neck stand up and make me think, I work for this business where they're donating over £1 million over the next 12 months to give something back, and it's well thought of. You know, this is not just about us trying to promote Together, our brand, and I've never did the brand then to promote the brand. This is about community, this is about people less fortunate, this is about youth, this is about health, this is about understanding. You know, we've just given our colleagues 2 days a year volunteering that we're paying for. So, you know, it's not about just money, it's about the time, the effort. We're planting a forest. You know, all these things are things which are genuinely, you know, it just sets us apart from everything else, and I'm just proud to be part of it.
So what would you say is your favourite room or activity in HideOut?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer this really carefully. If it was me, the gym bit, running around.
I was literally just.
Yeah, no, if it was me, the gym, you know, because I'm active and I like to do things. But you know, I've always wanted to cook. You know, I like the kitchen area where people are baking. I like the therapy room where you can, you know, if you're feeling a bit down, having a chat with people. There's a music room. I just think it covers everything. And you know, the thing about the zone itself is you can be whatever you want to be. You don't have to be athletic. You know, if you don't want to do that, I think you can go from room to room. Everybody's encouraging, supporting you. I think everything's fantastic. I'd like to come here every night and do something different. You know what I mean? I'd like to sit in these podcasts with you two and have a bit of fun with you.
I appreciate that.
So thanks for sharing. It was really inspiring. So obviously, the theme of our podcast is What Manchester Taught Me.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit more about how Manchester has shaped you as a person and a successful businessman?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm proud I'm from Manchester, so, I do take my time to support a lot of the Manchester charities, because I feel that I want to give something back to Manchester. Certainly the homeless is a big thing for me and my family. Whenever we go and see, whenever we're out and about, we want to support them, buy them a sandwich rather than giving them money and things like that. So I'm proud of Manchester. Whenever I go to London, I always hear these people saying, "Well, you're from where?" And
Up north, yeah, like.
I mean,
Jam a chip bam.
And you know what's funny about Manchester? When you go and travel the country, sometimes like I do, Manchester people actually talk to you. They look at you in the eye. They're not, they don't want anything. So when you go to London, everyone's got their head down. Everyone's on the tube, and no one's looking at anybody, and it's very impersonable. And Manchester, for me, it's such a vibrant city. It's got everything, no matter what race, colour. It's just religion. You can be who you want to be, and I think it's got everything. So you know what? Anyone who wants to stick down south, stick to south. Manchester will always be my home.
Yeah.
No one six one.
Yeah. The company together's support for young people across Manchester is incredible. Thank you for supporting HideOut. Why do you think it is important for other businesses to get behind local youth charities? Any
business that came here today to see what you are doing, where we're feeding people, we're supporting people, we're educating people, they can be who they want to be. I just think every business should want to give something back. And I think as far as we're concerned, I was an apprentice myself. Didn't know what I wanted to do. So people just need to be given a chance, and that's what this does. So I think it's just an amazing place. And, I'd like to be able to do more than what we currently do, and I think we've got to look at that.
Did you ever visit a youth club when you were younger? And if so, what was it like?
Again, me being honest with you, I didn't, because I was very fortunate. I was born in a middle-class family. My dad worked. My mum was always at home to look after me. She brought me and my sister up. It was loving, it was kind, it's made me the person that I am today. So, but when I look at what's here today, I would have loved, I was very fortunate when I was a kid that I could go out and ride my bike around the street. I used to come home from school, 5 o'clock, you do your homework, go out, you'd stay out till 9 o'clock. My mum and dad weren't worried. I'm not even sure I'd want my daughter to walk the streets today. If I'm honest with you, and I live in quite a nice neighbourhood. So, coming here and knowing that your kids are safe and they're protected and they can learn and they'll meet other people, I think, it is good. But with mobile phones today and the internet and all these other things, I mean, my daughter don't come out of her room. She's 15. I don't think I've seen her for 2 weeks. I come, and I was laughing to my wife because I said, when my dad used to come home from work, it was a given that you came downstairs and said hello to him. My kids,
stay the door slam.
Feet
going up the stairs.
They couldn't care less whether I'm home or not. It wouldn't really make any difference. Nobody comes down. I have to go upstairs, I knock on the door, see if it's okay to come in. God knows what they're doing in there. And, but on a serious note, the place, you don't feel it's as safe now to go and walk the streets or ride your bike and somebody could, and all this sort of stuff. So here, this is great for any walk of life to go and do whatever you want to do.
And on the back of that, one thing that definitely makes HideOut unique is our universal provision that, we are open 7 days a week.
Amazing.
And we offer over 20 activities a night, some of what you've seen and, you can get involved in. So why do you think it's important to provide a safe, inspiring place for young people to make positive use of their leisure time?
Well, listen, I think as I just answered the previous question, I'm not so sure today that I would feel comfortable letting my kids roam the streets. If they can come here, they can get a meal. With the cost of living being where it is, the heating of houses and everything else. I think you mentioned to me the other day, somebody came in, it was 26 degrees in here. They rang the mum and said, guess what, it's 26 degrees. And the mum said, stay.
Stay there.
I get it, genuinely.
Yeah.
So So I didn't realise today until today that you're open 7 days a week. How amazing that? Because, you know, I suppose you come here after school, but Saturdays and Sundays used to be a dead boring day. There's not a lot going on. A lot of parents are having to do 2 jobs now, so the parents are at home. So to come here and to be able to do cooking and be able to do music and be able to do hair and to be able to do computing. I've just seen you've got FIFA soccer here, is it?
We've got an Xbox and a PS5.
I mean, I ain't got that at home, neither's my son, so it's fantastic. It really is amazing. And I think people should feel that they can get up and have a purpose, come here, they can come here for an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. I just think it's great.
Now, I've heard
Yes.
your cups of tea are...
Yes,
And apparently that's how you started your journey as an apprentice.
it is.
Why do you think apprenticeships are so important?
It's interesting because I was 17. I was about to go to college. I'm not academically clever, and I knew that I would be wasting my time going to college. I knew that I'd skip lessons. I knew I'd find any reason not to go, and I was given the opportunity to go and make cups of tea, pick things up, do post. Filing. You know, I was telling somebody this story the other day. There was a lady that used to work in our office who, she was like the matriarch. She was the woman that you had to get past.
Gatekeeper.
She was the gatekeeper, and she hated me. I was this cocky, arrogant, you know, I had curly hair, gel in my hair, walking around thinking I owned the place. And I remember she once locked me in the filing room, which I don't think you're allowed to do today.
No, but health and safety there.
Freezing cold. It was probably a fire hazard. And she said, "You're not leaving until you basically do this filing." And then came back to me after about 2 hours. But, you know, I think where I earned the respect was, if it took me 2 hours to do the first pile, I wanted to see if I could do it in 1 hour, 45 minutes, the next one. Then I got it down to 1.5 hours. And within 3 months, I was her favourite. And whereas I used to make her cups of tea, she made me cups of tea. And genuinely, I believe as an apprentice, I give 125% for any job that I'm doing. It doesn't matter how big, how small. And I think, you know, for hard work, you know, someone said to me the other day about what is the secret of your success. Genuinely, guys, I'm telling you now, just hard work. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I'm not academically clever. So as an apprentice, come in, learn. You know, I just managed to understand that I had the gift of not a gift of the gab, but I could talk to people, no matter what level. So, you know, if I was talking to the cleaner, to talking to the CEO of our business, I knew the respect I had to show. I knew the questions I needed to ask. Sometimes I got it wrong and I was put in my place, and I went home and reflected on that and thought to myself, well, you know, I created that situation. How would I learn from that so I don't do that again? So genuinely, we've just taken on a young guy, a friend of my wife's, and the son of a friend of my wife, and he came round to see me and he burst out into tears and he said, "My mum is forcing me to go to sixth form and I hate it." Right? And he said, "I'm not going to do anything at the end of it." He's the prime example of what an apprentice is. So we've given him a job, we're giving him the training, the learning, the development, and then it's down to him. I can't force him. I'm not going to basically protect him. I've told him when he comes in, from day one,
do a job,
knocking on my door to say this hasn't gone well and something. Learn it yourself. So, you know, I genuinely believe if I can get from apprentice to CEO, and trust me, I ain't that bright, anybody can do it.
What did you mean when you said you wasn't that academic?
Well, to be true, I was rubbish at school. I mean, I'm sure today. I mean, we think our son has got ADHD and he's dyslexic. They found out he was dyslexic, and they had tracing paper, and he's given half an hour extra. Not that it made any difference to him, but he's given half an hour extra.
Yeah, don't make a difference.
Right?
Trust me.
Can I just say something? When I look at the symptoms today, because don't forget, I'm 51, so I'm talking. This was 35 years ago when I was at school. Right? Nobody had that. I was dyslexic, I had ADHD, I was antsing my pants, jumping about, couldn't really, you know, retain anything. So to me, when you say that, working in a classroom doesn't work for me, but you put me in front of people or you give me a job, and I've learned over the years to deal with it better. Unfortunately, I'm a reflector, so I have to take things away, understand it in my own head, process it. I break everything down into blocks to make it dead simple. So if it's too complicated, I just say to somebody in the meeting, look, I don't understand this. Can you just take me through it step by step? If it's too complicated, you're dealing with the wrong audience. And you know what? It's funny because I think our business reflects better now because they use it as the Mark Goldberg way of dealing with things. Just break it down simply. Some people just get it like that, and I get that, yeah? They're in the few, to me, they're in the small percentage. People like me, just break it down, and then I can contribute and help. Whether it's motivating colleagues, knowing what you're good at is really, really good. And that's the thing for me. I'm not good at, risk. I'm not good at credit. But I tell you what, I've got a lot of people around me who are brilliant at it. But I tell you, if you want to motivate a room of people to say, this is what we need to do over the next 3 months, we're going to meet every second day and find out where we're up to. There's no one better than that than me. And half the credit people, they can't do that.
So from being an apprentice,
yes,
now to being the commercial CEO of
yes,
the company together, which is an amazing job. What advice would you give to young people who are leaving school right now and might not be sure of the direction to go in?
I think you really got to understand what it is you want. If you're academically clever, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a dentist or a lawyer, whatever else, sixth form, university, I get it all. But for a large part of the population, getting a job and really understanding what it's like to come from... Because let me tell you, the difference between an apprentice at 16 to what you are at 18, that 2 years is probably the biggest 2 years ever. You've gone from basically having breaks, at lunchtime, finishing at 4:30 to coming into an office environment. It's hard, I'm telling you. I don't think anybody kind of gets to it straight away. So you've got to take time to adjust. You've got to understand, and you've got to persevere. You have good days and bad days. I don't care what job you're in. Nobody has it all good all the time. So you've got to learn how to deal with that. We certainly together, the apprentices, they're not coming in making cups of tea anymore. They're not being left to go and do in the filing room, locked away for 2 hours. We give them proper jobs to give them the training, the learning, the understanding, the part of a project. They feel that they've achieved something. We have regular sessions with them. They come and present to the execs. They take a project from start to finish. So, as I said, education, I'm a firm believer in it, if you're that way inclined. But getting a job, that should be encouraged as well.
What skills do you think you learnt as an apprentice, which you might not have learnt if you chose another route like uni?
I think like everything, life is one big learning. I think I would say every day I learn something new. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I'm quite a humble person where I will say I got that wrong. And I think people actually like that about me. I'm not always right. So I think, just the important thing from anything is take life's learnings, know how to understand people, how to get your point across, reflect, take time. If you're not sure, ask. And honesty and transparency and collaboration are the 3 key things that I would take away. I think that would make a successful person.
Honesty, transparency and collaboration.
Absolutely. Yeah? Don't ask me to explain them to you.
So for the people who are listening, who don't know already, I would like to explain what is a CEO. And then after that, what are the best and worst things about being a CEO?
So a CEO is somebody that runs a business. So a lot of the decisions, the final decisions are made by them. As I said, for me, I'm very much about a collaborative person. I haven't got all the answers to all the questions. I suppose the good thing about being a CEO is I love the challenge. I love watching our colleagues in working in a set group of people, and I love watching people come up through the ranks, and it's great. But there's a lot of pressure that goes with it. If you get it wrong, it's on your shoulders. And nobody gets up. I always say about everybody that works it together, and I think nobody gets up in the morning and says, I'm going to do a really bad job today, right? Or I'm going to do something to go against the company. Just people make genuine mistakes. And I just think when you hold your hands up and say, I got it wrong. Everyone takes stock of that because you can deal with it. There's not one problem I've ever come across in my career that's not sortable, yeah? But I suppose a lot of people process it in their heads and make it to be far bigger than what it is. Deal with it, come out with it, sit down. I've got a problem. This is what I've done, and we'll find a solution to it. So for me, it's a lot of pressure. Last year with what went on with interest rates in the UK, the Liz Truss effect and everything else, I think, October, November, December were the hardest 3 months of my 31 working career. And I think I got through it through the colleagues that work it together, supporting each other, motivating each other. We came up with a plan. We made some mistakes on the plan, which was fine, but we've come through it, I think, stronger and better together.
Do you have any advice for success?
Success comes by hard work. Did I ever get, honestly, when I was 16, 17, did I ever say I want to be a CEO? I didn't. But every time an opportunity came to me, I just took it. I grabbed it with both hands. I gave it 125%. And at the end of the day, I did my best. Listen, there's been plenty of things I've failed at. But so I didn't set out to be a CEO. I set out to be successful and be able to have a family, provide for them. Yes, I've done very well for myself, and by the way, I'm proud of myself for what I've done. So I don't have to feel guilty to anybody to say I'm going on holiday or I bought my daughter a jacket or anything like that, because I've worked hard for it, so I deserve it because I've worked hard for it, but no one's given me anything. And I just think when you're doing anything, set out to achieve, to be respectful. The word respect is something you have to earn. You can't buy respect. You can't sit there and say, just because I'm the CEO, you've got to respect me. Yeah, you've got to earn it. And I think that's a really important part of it. And I'd like to think most of the people that work for me, I'm sure there's plenty of people that will probably say,
you're going to be listening to this now going, no, Mark.
But I think it's fair to say, and I've got two of our colleagues here today, people will see me. There's no job I will ask anybody to do that I wouldn't do myself. And I do walk around the business and I do go and speak to people and I do ask them how the families are. I do care. We try and support people all the time because there's a lot of things outside work that can have effect on people's work life. And I'd like to think if anyone came to me and asked me for some advice or some help, I would be the person that they would come to, knowing that I would do my best to help them.
That's really good to hear, and that's a really nice insight, especially someone in a position of CEO. I think for some people, what they see CEO, they don't hear, you wake up at 5 a.m, you get your mind right, you set your day right, your targets, your goals, and then you get it. So that's really nice to hear, because I think sometimes they just think it's easy, a few brews and a bicky.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But you got a coffee machine now, though, haven't you?
I haven't. No,
you're still keeping it real.
And I still keep it real. But like everything, life throws different things at you, and how you deal with it, it's never as bad as you first think. And as I said to you, deal with it face on, be honest and transparent about it, and there's lots of people who genuinely will be there to help you. I think the majority of the UK population are good people. There's a minority that are bad.
We'll take that.
Yeah, work with the majority.
Thank you for answering our questions.
No problem.
So have you got any questions for our lovely host?
I have. So how long have you... So you've been coming here for how long? For 2 years?
Since it opened, 2 years,
Yeah. So tell me your views on it.
Well, obviously, I do music. So when I started music, what I had was lyrics.
Yeah.
Lyrics and maybe beats off YouTube. I didn't have the resources to record or mix or engineer or any of these things. So when I came to HideOut, it was there for me, and it was there for free. Yes. Well, 50p when you walk in, but it was there for free. Yes. So that gave me an opportunity. It gave me the resources now to be able to build on what I wanted to create. Yeah. So then now, one of the songs that I recorded in HideOut ended up actually taking off literally last year. And then since then it's been sick. So yeah. So obviously HideOut.
Big on yourself,
yeah. And so, what's your favourite room besides the music room?
Pardon?
What's your favourite room besides the
music
room?
room?
Yeah.
I have a dance room at a canteen.
Yami is actually a sick dancer as well. He has got some techers. I've seen.
I would imagine. And what is it that you want to do? You want to be a rapper?
Anything in entertainment, actor, rapper, singer, dancer.
But you clearly got a talent for it, and you got a talent for music.
Yeah.
So keep working at that.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. And you?
What's the same question?
Well, listen. I know you're into DJing, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that is a passion of yours. Did you learn that here? Have you always done it?
Well, my dad's a DJ.
Okay.
And owns a sound system, so I've liked music since.
Grown up with it.
Yeah, growing up with it. So when HideOut was opening it, it was mainly for him really why we started coming, because I wanted to learn producing.
Yes.
Obviously, they have the equipment in it. So when they heard that in the studio, we thought, right, you need equipment.
Yes.
And I want to learn how to use the equipment. So if we come here now, we start learning, getting taught by the mentors.
So you two best pals?
Yeah.
Besties. Besties. Forever.
So you're going to produce his music?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
And it's not just that the equipment and everything what we came here for, it's also the workers who were teaching us, because you don't just come here and go, like, that's how you use an interface. Like, they'll say, why are you using it, how, like, they actually ask questions. Even when you come in, they'll be like, how was your weekend, X, Y, Z. It's not just like we have connections with the people who come in and actually care about the success.
It's a comfortable environment.
Yes.
So and then you feel comfortable to ask questions. That's why you get me. If you don't know a certain something, you just say.
And are you still at school?
I'm in college, first year of college right now. Just finished school, yeah.
And how is college?
It's all right. Miss high school, but it's all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
And you?
Same in college.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm doing sound engineering and music production.
Fantastic. Stick at it.
Will do.
Stick at it, honestly, because if you come out of there and you get a degree, or you pass the qualifications, you've always got that. They'll never be able to take it away from you. Yeah.
So held an event. Me and him was sat down planning it. I was thinking, obviously, I want to do an event in it, but then I was thinking too much negative thinking. Imagine people don't come, this and that. Spoke to him and spoke to my mum, and they were like, if you don't take risks, you're not going to prosper.
Absolutely.
So if you don't do it, you're never going to know, innit? So, I think it was the month before it now, I was thinking, because like, I was looking at the prices and all that, thinking, do I really want to lose this before Christmas? And then he was like, oi, you're going to lose it anyway. if you don't do it.
He's your glass half full, he's glass half empty.
Yeah, basically, we had a whole hour conversation in the living room of me just drilling him to the reasons why he should do it.
Brilliant.
You get me? Me and his brother were here just throwing reasons at him, and eventually at the end he was like.
At the end of it, I thought, you know what, I'm going there, because you're not going to stop telling me if I don't do it. So I did it now, seen the turnout, and I was thinking, for my first event, can't complain.
Did you make money?
Broke even.
Okay.
So I just thought, for my first event, at least I didn't lose in it. So then built the name up from there.
Fantastic.
And then planning to do one in August for summer.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, well, let me just say, for doing the interview today, I want you to get the details. You're going to come to United games, sit in the exec with me, and as soon as I can find the tickets, you can come as well. Right? I promise you come as my guest, all right? I'm going to sort it for you, promise you. I loved it. Today's brilliant. Honestly, you'll come, I'll get you picked up, and I'll get you dropped off, and you'll come with me, all right?
Oh, nice one. Thank you for coming in.
Sort it out. I'm telling you.
No.
And the other thing about me is I never ever promise something I can't deliver. All right?
So, Mark, thank you very much for coming in and sharing your story about what Manchester has taught you.
I really enjoyed. It's my first podcast.
Well,
right? So I've really enjoyed it. I want to do more.
Well, we've had a good impression then. Happy days. So thank you for supporting HideOut, all our members, young people, staff, volunteers, team, and let's give a big round of applause for Mark.
Just to finish, the staff here are the best I've come across. You're so passionate, hard-working, hungry. It's not easy.
Oh, it's
you
not
do
easy.
You do a brilliant job, and I can tell you, all the kids that are here really appreciate it as well.
Oh, no, we
and
love
I'm
it,
proud
we
of
love
each
it.
and every one of you. So keep up the good work.
Yeah.